Trying to get my devices right. Okay, I think I got this one just right. Hey, Nana. How y'all doing, Erica? So today we going to get right into it, okay? I got two cameras going, TikTok and YouTube. All right. And I want to talk about the Vikings of Valhalla. Have you all watched this series? Um, it is remarkable, okay? I grew up watching Cisco and Ebert, and they used to review movies and series and all kinds of stuff, right? When I was a little girl. And it's really something about the movies, right? Um, about a series like Vikings of Valhalla. It sort of, can take you to places that you've never been, Carlton. And I just love it. I'm a chick. I'm definitely a girly girl, but I love this series. And I think, what really drew me into it, um, a lot of action. The Vikings of Valhalla has a lot of action in it. It's action packed. And the other thing about it, Larry, is that people are going on quests. They're going on adventures, if you will, to try to claim what's theirs. And I just find that so fascinating. And the other thing is, uh, even though they took, license with it, if you will, this is based on real people. It's based on real people. Okay. These people actually walked this earth at one point, and evidently they made their mark on this earth. They made their mark. So, have any of you guys seen the Vikings of Valhalla? If you've seen the series, it's on Netflix. I want you to drop a one in the comment section. Drop a one in the comment section if you've seen the Vikings of Valhalla. I'm telling you, if you have not seen it, hey, Kit Kat, what did you think about it? Anybody else? Have you seen the Vikings of Valhalla? Drop a one in the comment section if you've seen the Vikings of Valhalla. Now, if you have not seen it, hey, Jazz, if you have not seen it, baby, bye. You need to go, stop what you're doing, and go put on the Vikings of Valhalla. Now, this is the second season. I'm hopeful that there will be a third season, but it has everything you need in it. It has love in it, all right? It has conquest in it. You okay? It has adventure in it. Uh it also can get very brutal, all right? Um these are people who were real people. Hey, art girl, your mom. Hey, that's what's up. Uh Kit Kat spoke with a guy friend and he advised the truth. Very passionate. Okay. So yeah, this series is a very passionate series. These are people who knew what they wanted and they went after it. I think that's what I really like, you guys. These are people who are unafraid to go out and get what the fuck they wanted. Okay. I like that. Real story, Kit Kat. Yes. uh uh Earl Godwin, Olaf is a real person in history. All right. King Harold, he's a real person in history. King Canute, these are real people. And I think what fascinates me so is these people were alive, like just say uh, in the year 1000, in the year 1015. All right. And here we are in the year 2024, And we are still talking about these people. People are still writing about them. People are still, making art about them. Isn't that phenomenal? I mean, just think about it. Here we are in 2024, and please, if you are getting some value out of this, tap tap tap, double tap the screen, share it out with somebody you know who's watched the Vikings of Valhalla or who's interested in watching the Vikings of Valhalla. We're going to get into it. So, yes, they were around in 1015 in 995. Okay, the year 995. Think about that, Betty. Here we are in the year 2024. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? They were willing to sacrifice themselves for the great. Yes, Kit Kat. Can you imagine? In the year 3034, if somebody's talking about you, if somebody's writing a story about you, that's one hell of a legacy. Good, bad, or indifferent, however you feel about these people threw it all on the line so that now we still know about them. We still know about Freitas. Freitas was a real person, you guys. King Canute was a real person. King Harold, he was a real person. Olaf, his half brother, his nemesis. These were real people. And, uh, Harold is going for what he wants. He wants to be king. He feels like, he's the rightful heir to the throne. And so he's putting himself all out there. He's willing to get on a boat and go to places of the earth where most people wouldn't go. They'd be afraid, and fight. And so the thing is, if we could draw some parallels today, are you willing to fight for what you want? Are you willing to throw it all on the line? Are you willing to be unstoppable? This is how these people were, Kit Kat. They were willing to throw it all on the line. Let's see what Kit Kat says. The culture and guidelines were governed by the community, and they stood by it. Yes, they were willing to fight. I mean, physically fight for what they wanted. And you gotta love that. You gotta love that. Being willing to throw it all on the line, Helen, and say, this is mine, and I'm gonna take it. That to me is just a phenomenal trait. I don't know if as many people today, still, have that in them. You know what I'm saying? And the men back then were, it reminds me of the movie, another movie, it might not be a chick flick, but 300. 300 is one of my favorite movies. And it's one of my favorite movies. I love the scene. Man, where I can't remember his name right now. Let me get his name up here on the screen. 300 film. 300 film. I don't want to get his name wrong, baby, because that's one hell of a film too. I'm just looking here, y'all. Yeah, King Leonidas. Okay, when he was there with his people, and they met up with another clan, tribe, whatever you want to call it, and they were going to go out and fight. And so King Leonidas looks at his people, and he asked them. Well, he asked the other people, okay, what are you? And so they were like, well, I'm a carpenter. I'm a farmer. I'm a this. But when King Leonidas looked at his guys, he was like, Sparta, what are you? And they all answered with one answer. They was warriors. They was ready. And that's how they are in The Vikings, they ready. We gonna get what's ours, baby. This is what we believe. And I think more people today could benefit from that, and the men, they were just manly men. They was ready to go fight. Okay, they drop it down wherever they had to, to get what they wanted. They were unafraid. Those men back then were unafraid. All right, and the women played their roles too, Linda. The women played their roles, supporting roles. They were there for their men, and they was ready to go. They was ready to go fight too. Like Freitas, she was unafraid, baby. She believed in what she believed in. Now, you know, they had clash of, let's just say, religions. K's custom. They had clash of religions because, like, Olaf, he was a Christian, all right, and he believed in that. Harold was a Christian too. However, he was in love with Freitas, excuse me. Freitas believed in the old ways, in the Viking old ways. She believed in their gods, the pagan ways, okay? And she was ready to sacrifice all to uh to do what she believed in, to worship in the way that she believed in. She was ready to throw it all on the line, baby. And today, you think about today, for example, Christians, whatever you are people really ready to throw it all on the line? Are people really ready to stand up for what they believe in? Are people really ready to say, no more? We're not doing that, or we doing this. I don't see it today. I don't see it today. Not like the Vikings of Valhalla, okay? Not like King Harold and Olaf, having their difference of opinion, And you always had sneaky people in the court. You had Earl Godwin. He felt like he had been cheated out of his chance to get on the throne, and so he got in King Canute's kind of good graces, if you will, and was always hovering around. King Canute's wife, King Canute, had told him to protect her, but he was sneaky as heck. And you know how it is in life. You can have somebody sneaky around you, just trying to disrupt whatever you doing. And so they had those same issues. But the other thing about the Vikings of Valhalla, the costumes that they wore. Oh my goodness, whoever designed their costumes should get whatever kind of award. I know it's a Netflix series, so it's probably not Oscars, but they should get a reward. Those outfits were boss, okay? Those coats that they had on were, I'm not in a cold climate anymore, but if I was in a cold climate, baby, I would want a coat like they had on in that movie, in that series. All right, Project Mike. Project Mike, have you seen the Vikings of Valhalla? If you haven't, I encourage anybody. It has everything in it from action, adventure, uh, fight scenes. You know what I'm saying? Fight scenes. It has very determined people, going on a quest to get what's theirs. And yes, you see it in Project Mike. I mean, I love it. I'm a chick and I love it. I was telling my husband, you know what? I could watch the Vikings of Valhalla and also the first series, the Vikings. I could watch that again because, I like, okay, let me see what Project Mike says. I seen the original series on History Channel. I mean, yes, Yes. You see, I'm getting raw. It just makes me feel like that because here we are in 2024, all right? And most of these people live like, in 1015, okay? 995. We're in 2024. So over 1,000 years later, just think about this, you guys. Over 1,000 years, their names still ring in history. These were real people, Mary. These were real people who wanted something and they believed in something. And because they wanted something and they believed in something and they pursued it with all of their might, we still know about them. We still know about them. Isn't that something? People are still writing about them. That's a hell of a legacy, y'all. I don't know about you, but I find that whoosh, mind blowing. Whether you like them, don't like them, agree with what they did, don't agree, the fact that these are real people, Freitas is a real person. King Harold is a real person. King Canute is a real person. Svein Forkbeard is a real person. And we still know about these people. Wow. Not just know about them, they're talking about them, they're writing about them, they're making movies about them. That's a hell of a legacy. And so it makes me want to strive that much harder, that much harder to leave my notch, right? If we could all leave our notch on this earth to where in 3024, they're talking about us, they're writing about us. You know what I'm saying? That's one hell of a thing, right? But you got to have conviction. And they had conviction, and that's why people are still talking about these people. We're still talking about them. You know, the writing was excellent. The writing was excellent. They had a few twists and turns in the series, especially when I'd have to look up her name, but she was on the boat. She was on the ship with Harold and Leif Erikson, or Leif. I'm gonna say Leif Erikson. She was on the boat with them, and it turns out, man, she was gonna be the bride to the Emperor of Constantinople, which was a big thing back then. This was a big, huge thing. Now, I haven't looked all of that up to see if that's factual. I'm sure they took many, poetic license with the stories. That's what they do. But the twists and turns in that series were bar none. Earl Godwin, so sneaky, so sneaky. You know what I'm saying? The queen in the movie. I'm trying to think of her name or look her up here on my computer, you all. She was something else. Queen Emma of Normandy. Man, she was like Murder She Wrote. She was like Jessica Fletcher, y'all. She was like Jessica Fletcher. She was peeling back that onion. She was like, something sneaky about that Earl Godwin, and I'm gonna find out. She didn't say those actual words, but that's how that's the vibe she was operating in. And I was just like, yeah, go and find out about him. And Olaf, what a treacherous brother. Now everybody knows somebody got somebody in their family. Somebody got somebody in their family, right? That's treacherous. We all do. We all do. And it's just like the bane of our existence, always causing some trouble. That was Olaf, and then you have somebody, the party animal, King Canute. He was partying and, basically living his best life. And hey, I'm gonna go conquer here, and I'm gonna conquer there, and I'm gonna be the king of all these places at once, baby. But it was a phenomenal series, Felicia. If you like uh, pieces that are, built upon history, then you can't lose. You cannot lose with the Vikings of Valhalla. from the costumes they wore, the coats, so beautiful. Such the the fight scenes, the swords they had. Freitas had this sword, baby, that was out of this world. That sword was boss. You know what I'm saying? If I had a sword, I would want Freitas' sword. I would want Freitas' sword. Okay? Let's see, who is this? Somebody wants to join me. I don't know who you are. Let's see. Let's see. I'm gonna see for a second. Oh, it's gone. It's gone. But it was something else. It was something else, baby. Bye. It was something else. That was one hell of a series. And afterwards, I was like, this is when you really know it's good, when you start talking about it afterwards. Because we see all kinds of movies and series, and uh, nobody wants to talk about it. I had to make sure my mic was on. Nobody really talks about it afterwards. But when you watch a movie and it really makes you, want to have dialogue about it, that's when baby, bye. This is good. All right. This is worthy. This is, maybe needs to be nominated for something, Lonnie. And I just loved it. The actors were great. Their accents were on point. They made me believe, like, hey, we're back in 1015 AD. We're back in 1015, and I'm really, in Viking land. And people are doing what they do to get what they want, baby. That's how it made me feel. And I was just like, yeah, you know. But if you're someone who doesn't like violence, okay, in your movies, Vikings of Valhalla is not for you. If you are someone who doesn't like a good storyline, then Vikings of Valhalla is not for you. If you're someone who does not like actors who are handsome, Vikings of Valhalla is not for you, okay? But if you're somebody who loves a good series with good acting, good writing, good costumes, good sets, then baby bye. Vikings of Valhalla is 2 thumbs up. Okay? It's 2 thumbs up. Yes, it is. 2 thumbs up. Vikings of Valhalla is. If that's what you like. Because you're going to get all of that and more. Action, adventure, deceit, conquest, love. You're going to get it. Ambition. You're going to get it. Confidence. I really like that. I mean, today, we don't, hey, Tanya, I just, people are so laid back. People are so laid back, And I'm not saying there's not room for people to be laid back, okay? Because there is. There is. Hey, good afternoon, Tanya. Thank you for being here. I'm grateful for each and every one of you who are joining here today with me. I'm grateful for you. Double tap, 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 screen, tap, tap, tap. Share it out, tap, tap, tap. Okay? But you can't go wrong with Vikings of Valhalla. You cannot. It has an awesome storyline. It has two brothers battling it out, for their seat at the table. Okay, you got Olaf and you got Harold. Okay, you got Leif Erikson, who's, his love died. She died, and he's trying to deal with that. And then he also has to be a warrior when it's necessary. You got that going on. You got King Canute, who is off trying to be the king of everywhere. I think at one point he was the king of England, the king of Normandy, the king of Denmark. He was everywhere once, and trying to deal with that. You got his daddy, Sven Forkbeard, coming in and putting his chest out. It's you got all of these characters, and the thing is, a lot of them is based off of real people who were really alive, who really walked this earth 1,000 years ago. 1,000 years ago. And here we are today. We're still talking about them. That's just, that's fascinating. But what's also fascinating is the way that the story is written, the costume, the imagery, the actors. It's really, you can't go wrong. And I guess I was so touched by it that I felt like, hey, I'm gonna come on here and I'm gonna share this with you guys, because there might be somebody who hasn't seen it, who doesn't know about it, and hey, I'm telling you, it's something you need to check out. It's something you need to check out, because you won't be disappointed. You won't be disappointed. It's an epic piece, epic. And it has everything in it and more that you could want to keep you engaged while you're watching something. It's hard for me, you guys. I think because I'm self-diagnosed ADHD. Okay, my brain is everywhere all the time. It's like, thank you for double tapping. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. My brain is everywhere all the time. So for me to be able to sit down and to watch a series, because it's about 8 episodes, and be enthralled with it, be waiting what's gonna happen next, what twist, what turn, what's Queen Emma gonna do, what's Olaf gonna do, what's Freydis gonna do. you know this is the other thing. At one point, Freydis and Harold, they're lovers. She has a baby by Harold, and they part ways. Harold didn't know she was pregnant, and she, goes to a land really to pursue her beliefs. She was pagan. Now, I'm not into that, but she was pagan, and she felt so strongly she wanted to pursue her religion. Are we today? Are we that driven? We say we driven. We saved, sanctified, and filled with the Holy Ghost. But are people really that driven? Are they ready to die for what they believe? These people were ready to die, baby. They were they were ready to throw down the gauntlet. I'm ready to die for what I want, for what I believe. And I think, not only the writing, but the way that the actors brought the characters to life. You felt like they really wanted it. You felt like they were really ready to go take it. Okay. They just were able to convey that. It was no, is he really a Viking? No, you they were transformed into another place, another time. And that's when you really know that the acting is good, because you feel like, you didn't enter the Wizard of Oz yourself. You feel like, hey, ooh, it's cold. I'm in Arizona, but I was like, oh, it's cold. I'm I'm on the ice, y'all. I'm on the ice. That's how I felt. I felt like I was, in Denmark. You know what I'm saying? I felt like, woo, it's cold, y'all. It's cold. I got this big coat on. That's how I felt when watching this series. I felt like I was there and had a bird's eye view of everything that was going on in the series. And my God, that is when you know it's good acting. Okay, you guys, I want to thank you. I'm grateful for each and every one of you here on TikTok, here on YouTube, who are watching me. And if you have not already, go and check out the Vikings of Valhalla. Go check that out, baby. And then y'all come back and y'all tell me comment um, what you thought of that. Okay, because I'm giving it two thumbs up, two thumbs up. Yes, I am. And with that, Nettie Nonstop is out. Later. Okay, I'm trying to close you out, YouTube.